She paid just $5 for a wounded German Shepherd. Everyone said it was a mistake, but days later, the dog did something that made her drop to her knees in tears. What she thought was a broken stray turned out to be something far more extraordinary, and it ended up inspiring an entire town. Lily was only 7 years old. She used to say, "One day I'll meet my real best friend." No one expected that day to come so soon. She was visiting a neighbor's neglected property on the outskirts of town with her grandfather when she noticed something stir near an old, rusting barn. Lying there in a mix of straw and muddy ground was a battered German Shepherd. Thin, limping, eyes dull, his body covered in scars. He was tied loosely to a fence post like he didn't matter. When Lily asked the man about the dog, he shrugged. "He's no good anymore. Hurt his leg, you want him, $5. Lily turned to her grandfather, eyes shining with quiet determination. Then she reached into her coat pocket and pulled out 5 wrinkled dollar bills, money she'd carefully saved by helping her grandma collect eggs and sweep the porch every weekend. Her hand trembled as she held out the cash. The man snatched it without a second look. "He's your problem now." But to Lily, he wasn't a problem. He was a promise. Her grandfather hesitated. "Are you sure, sweetheart?" She nodded. "He needs someone, and I think he picked me." They gently untied the dog. He didn't resist. Though weak, he stood and followed Lily without a sound, and in that quiet moment, something unspoken passed between them. Back home, Lily prepared a bed of blankets for him in their barn and gave him clean water. She knelt down, gently ran her fingers through his fur, and whispered, "You're safe now, Bruno." The name came to her instinctively. The dog gave a soft sigh, his first sign of peace, as if he understood he finally belonged. The first days were slow. Bruno barely moved, barely ate. His limp was worse than Lily had thought, and every loud sound made him flinch. He never barked or growled, only watched the world with tired, haunted eyes. Still, Lily never left his side. She read him bedtime stories. She shared pieces of her sandwich. She even placed her favorite stuffed animal beside him at night. Her grandparents watched quietly, unsure if Bruno would ever trust again. But Lily never wavered. Every morning she greeted him with a cheerful, "Good morning, buddy." And every night she tucked him in like family. Then one evening, as she was brushing hay and humming, Bruno gave a tiny, uncertain wag of his tail. It wasn't much, but to Lily it meant the world. That small motion told her everything. Bruno wasn't just healing. He was starting to feel safe. He was beginning to love again. Soon, Lily's grandfather began noticing strange things about Bruno. One evening, as a military documentary played on the TV, the moment the sound of marching boots came through the speakers, Bruno froze, ears alert, posture sharp, like a soldier recognizing a command. "Grandpa, why did he do that?" Lily whispered. The next morning, something even stranger happened. Lily dropped a heavy bucket of grain. Before it even hit the ground, Bruno jumped between her and the noise, protective, precise, like a guard on duty. Later, Lily playfully pointed her fingers like a toy gun and shouted, "Bang!" To everyone's surprise, Bruno dropped flat, playing dead. No one had taught him that. Her grandfather leaned forward from the porch, eyebrows raised. "That dog's been trained," he muttered, "not just tricks, real training." Lily looked at Bruno, now resting calmly at her feet. Maybe he hadn't forgotten who he was after all. Maybe he was just remembering. Then it happened. Near sunset, Lily wandered to the edge of the woods chasing a butterfly. The grass was tall, the air quiet. Suddenly, a rustle in the brush, and without warning, a wild boar burst out, charging toward her. Lily froze, heart pounding, but Bruno didn't. In a heartbeat, he threw himself between Lily and the animal, barking with a deep, thunderous growl that echoed through the trees. With incredible speed, he circled, dodged, and herded the boar away, teeth bared, fearless. Only when the threat was gone did Bruno return to Lily's side, licking her hand gently, like it was just another day. The next morning, her grandfather made a decision. "We need to get him checked, properly." They brought Bruno to the town's small animal clinic, tucked between the feed store and bakery. Dr. Simmons, the local vet, welcomed them in, and began his exam. As he ran his hands over Bruno's neck and shoulders, he paused. "There's something here," he murmured, pressing gently. A moment later, he retrieved a small metallic chip from beneath Bruno's skin. Damaged but still readable. He scanned it with a special reader. Then his eyes went wide. "This dog, he's not a stray. Bruno, they learned, was part of a military K9 unit. His name had been Bravo 9. He'd been declared dead in action 2 years ago after a transport vehicle explosion." Lily gasped. Tears welled up as she knelt beside him. Bruno licked her cheek softly. "You were a hero before I met you," she whispered, "but now you're my hero too." That $5 dog became something far greater. A living reminder that broken things can still save lives. Word of Bruno's story spread quickly. Dr. Simmons, moved by what he'd discovered, reached out to a local reporter who had once served in the military. The article ran just days later. "Forgotten K9 hero found by 10-year-old girl." The response was immediate. People began showing up at the farm with treats, thank you cards, even hand-knit scarves. One retired soldier drove 2 counties over just to salute Bruno and hug Lily. "He didn't just save lives overseas," the man said. "He reminded us what loyalty really looks like." Standing beside Bruno, Lily looked out at the growing crowd. "I didn't know who he was when I gave that $5, she began, voice trembling. "I just knew he needed someone, and maybe I did too." She wiped away a tear. "They say I rescued him," she said, pausing, "but I think he rescued me first." The crowd fell silent. Bruno stood strong beside her, tail wagging softly, as if he understood every word. Lily wrapped her arms around him and whispered, "You're my best friend." And in that moment, there wasn't a single dry eye in sight.